All right, come on in, guys. Welcome to your final immunity challenge. All right, Mike, first things first, I'm gonna need that necklace back from you. Thank you.
Immunity is now up for grabs.
This is gonna be an endurance challenge. The winner of this one will then get to decide who sits beside them in the final tribal council. Very important. There's nothing else left to play. It's just this challenge.
Before I explain the challenge, I just want to take a moment to thank the hosts of where we've been for the last handful of days, Domaine Labrador. This has been a fantastic location. We're hoping to shoot season 3 here as well. On the tables in front of where each competitor is going to be is a fresh bottle of their maple syrup. They make maple syrup here every season. Challengers, survivors, final 3. This is the big one. And like Jen said, this is an endurance strength competition. What you are going to be doing is behind you are 3 maple syrup sap buckets. Very Canadian, very Ottawa of us to do this last challenge like this. These buckets are full of snow. You will hold the bucket out in front of you with your arms straight until you can't. And once your arms drop even a little bit because of the weight, you are eliminated. The person who is able to maintain that bucket straight out in front of them for the longest will be in our final tribal council as one of the final 2. Definitely worth playing for, right?
Absolutely.
This is where you got to dig deep. This is where you got to find energy and reserves that you don't know that you have. I'm rooting for all of you. I hope you have some fun and some sore muscles when this is done. Let's get you situated. Survivors ready? Go! All right, buckets lifted. Everybody has got it up high. You're gonna start to feel this pretty fast. You guys haven't been eating that much, you haven't been sleeping that much. I hope you've been drinking water, but we've been so busy, I don't know if you have.
Immediately, the shakes come in.
Yeah, it's cold. Minus 17 degrees, and we have been outside since 7 a.m. this morning. The sun is going down. Albeit it's only 4 p.m., but the sun is going down. Dirt is struggling a little bit, it seems. Think about how much you want this. Think about who you're playing for, what you're playing for. You can go another second, and once you go another second, you can go another second after that. Mike is locked in. Mike is just staring at the top of it. He owes him money. Really, this competition here could be the thing that gets you money. The winner will be making a game-changing decision. $1,000. $1,000. Oh, Mike is grimacing. Mike is struggling.
Shakes have come through here.
Everybody is struggling.
Megan keeping up with the boys.
Mike is the only one to have his nose uncovered. However, those glasses would be foggy. That would be a distraction. I don't know how much longer these guys have in them. Megan readjusts and pulls up, does not go down. If you have to lift it higher, you can lift it higher. You just can't let it go lower. Dirt checking out his competition. Just focus on your breath. You know yourself in some trouble when you see the bottom of the sap bucket starting to move.
Megan, I'm gonna warn you, you need to keep your arms out.
Alright,
Mike drops.
Gotta keep your arms out straight, so that includes you too, Dirt.
Both of you.
I'm seeing bent
arms out.
elbows. Dirt is grunting, you can tell he's in pain. Megan's only holding on by her bottom 3 fingers on both sides. This is for a spot at the final tribal council. Can you bring it home? Megan wins the final immunity. Oh gosh, how are we feeling?
I didn't think I could hang on for another thing. That is giving it your all, guys.
Hug it out.
Good job.
The shades came in right away. That was incredible to watch. That was amazing. Yeah.
Oh goodness. Come on over to this side of the table. We can have a chance. Megan, congratulations. Come grab your immunity necklace.
The final one. Thank you.
Welcome to the final 2. You have a very important and probably very hard decision to make, right? We'll give you a few minutes to sit down with your thoughts, or you guys might want to talk to both Dirt and Mike. We'll give you some time to do that, a few minutes while we go set up tribal council, and we'll call you in when we're ready.
It's a tough one. I think everyone dropped within the span of 30 seconds to a minute. Obviously wanted to win, but literally went till my shoulders wouldn't let me go anymore. Super proud to be here in the final 3 with these 2. Don't really know where to go. Obviously I know where I want it to go. Yeah, we'll see. I'm super happy with everything and excited to see what happens here.
Holy crap. I didn't expect to win that at all. Champ was explaining the rules of the game to us, and I was like, okay, cool. And then there's a puzzle after. Can we just trade it out for a puzzle, please? Because I didn't think I had a shot at all to make this. And in a way, I was like kind of hopeful that the decision would be made for me rather than me having to make the decision. But like a big part of the reason why I like doing this type of thing is because I'm a competitor, and I can't quit. I can't throw in the towel. I can't throw a challenge because I love it so much. And there was a time in my life where I didn't know if I could do anything like this ever again. I was a huge athlete when I was younger, and I ended up hurting myself pretty badly. I fell playing soccer and herniated 3 discs, and I have enough damage from it to this day. It was over 10 years ago. And no one could tell me, I had to learn to walk again. I had something called drop foot, and I felt like at that time in my life I just lost a huge part of my identity of who I am. And I was also in grad school at the time, and I had to take a medical leave because I couldn't do my work anymore. And so my life really got flipped upside down in that moment, and I had to figure out kind of who I was outside of those identities, or how I could bring my athletic competitiveness into something else. And that's kind of when I started realizing that that you can have identify as a competitor but not an athlete, and you can bring that into other parts of your life. And for so long I didn't know if I'd ever be able to do anything even close to this before again. And then just about 2 years ago, I finally found something that works with me for my back, through physio, like lots of different therapies. And I just signed up for a volleyball team. So like almost 10 years after the original accident. And then, I'm not joking, 2 weeks before that league was meant to start, I tore my Achilles. So I really lost it mentally at that time, because like there's just so much good that comes from doing the things you love and competing in this way. And it felt like, oh my gosh, the world is out to get me, and I might not be able to do this ever again. And so the fact that I'm here, the fact that I get to just kind of determine like who I am, not only as a competitor but as a person, because the thing about Survivor that I love so much is that it's not just a game of competitions. You can't expect to win every single thing and get to the end, and even if you did that, you may not win, and that's because of the social element of the game. And that's why I love the game, because you have to be able to connect with people in such a way that makes it hard for them to vote you out, and also want to vote for you at the end. And I think at this moment I have to go with who I am and stand behind that, as in like, what would I do? What do I want to do, and what feels right? And I think even if it costs me the game, I can live with that.
All right, welcome survivors, and now we're gonna call in the jury.
That's you.
We have Kira, Tara, Janet, and our most recent eliminated contestant, Cameron.
Final 3. Big moment. Almost the biggest moment of the game. Yeah. How are we feeling?
My arms hurt a little.
Your arms hurt a little? I can imagine. But was it worth it?
This is such a hard decision that I'm not sure. Like, this is one of those moments where I'm like, it would have been easier, I think, for me not to have to choose.
Even if that meant that you might be on the line to end up in jury?
Yeah.
Is that like, do you find yourself to be like an empathetic person that really cares about how other people feel?
Usually, like outside of the game, I would say yes. But anytime I'm inside this situation, this game does things to your head that really makes you question kind of who you are. So I don't know. I really don't know if truly I'm someone who is out for themselves or who cares more about other people. Because right now, I feel kind of selfish. Yeah.
Do you guys feel that she's being selfish?
No, she won, and I mean, whoever she takes, the jury's gonna vote, and it's been a good game. It's been an amazing 3 days. So like, we chatted this before, and there's no hard feelings either way, regardless of how this goes from my end. And we've all done this together.
Megan, you mentioned the idea of like you're learning stuff about yourself in this game, or you're trying to figure out who you are in this game and how that like ripples into the real world. If it's not too personal, what have you learned about yourself in this game?
Oh my gosh. Anytime I have the opportunity to put myself in a position where I'm a little bit like uncomfortable or where I have to make hard choices, I've learned that I prefer to make a decision and stand by it and accept that I don't care if it's the wrong decision, as long as it's the one that I've made with like consideration of like who I am and what that means to me, more so than what that means to other people.
Very nice. We're going to give Mike and Dirt a chance to plead their case to you as to why you should take them. I know it sounds like you've already made up your mind and you're sticking to it, but I feel like it wouldn't be fair not to give them each the last chance. So, Dirt, Mike, we're going to give you each a minute. I'm going to time the minute to plead your case. Dirt, you can go first.
I'm not going to beg, and I'm most certainly not going to go against Mike here. I'm perfectly happy with whichever decision you decide to make, and if you decide to take me, to go against me, I think that's a great move to try and beat me. And if you don't take me, you'll be my friend forever.
All right, Mike.
I kind of already said it. No hard feelings either way. I've enjoyed playing this game. I think, I got unexpectedly saved in my eyes by you this morning. Appreciated that, and was obviously appreciating all the finals with you, but, the three of us are here and we're happy with whatever the outcome is.
Okay.
Well, Megan, it's time for you to make the decision. And if you can just add a bit of who you're going to take, and you can say a little reason why as well.
I came into this game knowing that, I came into this game thinking it would go very differently than it did. I thought I would face very different challenges than the ones that I did, but from the very start, I knew that if I had the opportunity to sit at Final 2 with Dirt, I would do that.
Okay.
All right. So, Michael, that means that you have been eliminated from Survivor Ottawa Season 2. You can bring the torch.
Mike, the tribe has spoken.
You can go find a seat on the jury.
All right.
Sorry, Mike. Okay, Megan, Dirt, congratulations. You have made Final 2. And now we're going to move to the next part with jury questions and your final speech. Survivors, welcome to the final council. Congratulations, Dirt. Congratulations, Megan. You've made it this far. Now we're going to welcome the jury because all the power has shifted in their hands. So, jury, come on in. We've got Kira, Tara, Janet, Cameron, and the last eliminated player, Mike.
Final 2. Big deal. First off, congratulations. This is the position we all play to be in, and you guys have outplayed, you've outwitted, and you've outlasted your fellow tribe mates, and here we are. You two have been probably the most visibly emotional players we've had this season. We've seen ranges from joy to grief to worry and fear and regret, and here we are. I want to open this up to you to start by maybe taking a minute to share with us and the jury how your emotional journey brought you to where you are right now. This is not your final speech, just an opening statement. Dirt, we're going to start with you.
In terms of the emotional journey, I think it's no secret. I've played an emotional game, and I've had to make some tough decisions because that's the problem with having connections going into this game. I knew I can't be friends with everyone and take everyone to the end. I have to make tough decisions. I have to go to the end with the people that I think that I can beat, but also make sure that the people that I'm threatened by don't get to the end.
Thank you. Megan?
I've not always been an emotional person. I used to be somebody who would keep a lot inside for a really long time. And when you do that, it finds other ways to come out. And so in like my personal journey, I've learned to let things out as they arise, and this game forces you into uncomfortable situations. This isn't the game that happened today, as I've alluded to before, isn't what I thought it was going to be coming in. And so I feel like I was really unprepared for the situations that I faced. As I was facing them, I was reacting naturally and fully to what was happening around me. So what you see on my face is usually what you get, unless I'm like in a strategic moment where I'm trying to play the game. But those aren't the moments of tears. Those are the moments of, am I telling you the truth right now or not? Is that the best decision for me right now or not? The tears are real. The guilt is real. The anxiety is through the roof. It has been very much an emotional roller coaster. I think I've felt every human emotion in the past couple of days, and I think it's important to feel it.
All right, thank you.
Okay, now we're going to go to our next segment of tonight's Tribal Council. We're going to move it to the jury. It's time for you guys to ask your questions. Kira, you're going to go first, so please take the stage.
You can stand
Yes.
if you want.
You can stand. Yeah,
And-
stand.
And for the final two, you'll have up to a minute to answer the questions, and we will have to cut you off if you go over the minute.
And if you can stay seated for you.
Yes, you guys need to stay seated.
Hi. Congratulations to both of you for being where you are. I have a question for each of you, and so I'll just start left to right. So I'll start with Dirt. So my question for you is, do you think that you have had good jury management?
This is the hardest part of the game for me. I had friends outside of the game playing this game with me, and for me to have to vote them out, that's why this was the hardest game for me to play, and I had a harder journey than you guys think. I had a connection with Janet from the very start, and I didn't want to write her name down, but I had to, because I had to see if that was the right decision for me to get to the end, because I felt that taking Mike and Megan would have been the better decision for a chance to beat Cam, because I felt that Cam was my biggest threat in the game. So do I feel like I did good jury management? I was honest about some connections that I made with you, some I waited until the right opportunity to tell you, and some I tried to keep to myself because everyone was more than willing to look each other up in this game.
All right, thank you, Dirt.
Thank you.
So over the course of the entire game, like everything, challenges, personal, everything, the way that you moved, the way that you operated, the way everything that you talked about, everything that you shared, your performance in the competitions, your reactions, what you may have hidden, what you may have omitted, what you may have lied, I don't know. My question is for you, prefaced all of that, is how much of that was strategy and how much of that was genuine?
That's an excellent question, and it's really, really, really hard to answer, because I don't think that I fully know. I think a lot of it was strategy, but there were so many, like, the moments of connections and talking to people, to me, like, the Megan that you met is the Megan that I would like to be if I had met you in, like, a social situation somewhere else. Like, that's the version of me kind of, like, turned up to an 11, because I know that I'm playing a social game and that it's important for people to like me and to connect with me, but at the same time, I can't not be me. And the being me in those moments too is like, I'm a gamer, I'm playing the game. And so within that, like, it's super complicated. And this is why I love Survivor, because I can't tell you how much of this is real versus not real. If I met you outside of here, Kira, I'm sure we would have had very similar conversations, but not as intensely and not as quickly.
Thank you, Megan.
Okay, next we're gonna go to the juror, Tara.
Congratulations to you both. Games well played. So we played a lot of Wizard over last week. My question to you is, this game was Wizard. You're placing your bet at the start. How many hands do you think you're going to win? And how many hands do you think you have won? Interpret that as you will.
Jerry, you can take it first.
I don't even know how to answer this. This is an interesting analogy. How many hands do I think I'm going to win? If we're saying out of 12 in this game, I'm thinking that I'm going to win 7 of them. The reason I say that is I've never been further than 6th place when I play this game. And so I'd be betting to go to 7. In terms of that, to kind of go into that, to ensure that I did get to 6 and beyond that, I had to get rid of Justin. Justin was the reason that I went out at 6, because we were so connected in season 1. So that was one of the moves I needed to make. So that's why I would say 7 tricks I would predict to win. I did not know what would happen after that.
Out of 12, I like the 12 jars, so I'm stealing it, Jared. I would have bet coming into this game that my butt has a good chance of being in this chair at the final jury, because I'm the kind of person that just does anything that it takes to find a way. And that doesn't mean that it's a deserving game to win, right, for you guys? Like, this is your choice, and there's no wrong choice there. But I've played the games of Survivor like this 3 times, and I've never been voted out. And so I backed myself to sit where I'm sitting now.
Now it is time for the juror Janet to ask her question.
Hey guys, I think I've learned probably the most of anyone here from both of you. So my question, 10 years from now, one of your kids stumbles upon season 2 here in this beautiful warm weather, and you have to explain to them how you played this game.
I played this game with, I think, a lot of heart. Like, I came into a competition and I just give it my all, regardless of what that is. And I think one of the things that I can say about this game and the way that I play it is always that I play to win. And what makes that so challenging in Survivor is that what I think is a winning game is not important. Because you're the ones that get to choose. My criteria for a winner is someone who fights hard, who interacts with the people that are there with them, and who wants to spend more time with them after this game, and who finds their way out of tricky situations by doing what they gotta do, saying what they gotta say. And I have lied in this game a lot. I have hidden a lot of things in this game. And so I'm owning that. I know that. And I think that that's what gets me here. I don't think that, I hope that you'll give me the opportunity to really listen afterwards as to why I think it also gives me, why that should help me win.
10 years from now, what I would tell my kids is that I'm someone that always wears my heart on my sleeve. I'm never afraid to show my emotions. I'm never afraid to admit when I'm feeling down, and I'm certainly most never afraid to admit that I am a competitor and I love this game. When it comes to emotions, I think doing these types of things, as hard as it is when you do them, when you get past these emotions and you get past these rough moments, the vote outs, the lying, the deceiving, and hoping that you're going to have friends outside of this game after you vote them out, I think you just have to remember that these emotions are real, and that at the end of the day, it's just a game. And I genuinely just hope that all of you are going to be good friends of mine going forward for the rest of our lives.
Thank you. The next juror is Cameron. Please stand up and ask a question.
Okay, I have a question for each of you. For Dirt, you had a big bucket list of items coming into this game. You didn't find an idol. But where, amongst the property, would you have hidden an idol?
Where would I have? Amongst the property, I definitely would have hid one. The first archway that we walked through when we did the walkthrough of the property, I think I would have put one there.
Perfect. And Megan, what are the best toppings on a hot dog?
Thank you so much. Nobody's asked me this question. You have to have some sauerkraut, some ketchup, some mayo, and a little bit of bacon. And cheese. Cheese.
Thank you.
Thank you for that insightful answer of your hot dog toppings.
I hope those answers really truly give you, like that question really give the jury an idea of how they're going to vote.
More than you even know. More than you even know. And our last question is coming from Mike.
All right, didn't have too much time to think about this one, but I'll do the same for both of you. Spent more time with Dirt, obviously, in this game. But let me know a strategic move you made that maybe I didn't know about that helped you get further in this game and ultimately here.
So a move that you wouldn't know about for me would be before that we were even on the same tribe together. It was the very, very first vote, and it was Charles. He had played games like this before, and he had won them. And I made aware of my two tribe mates that he had won, and he never wanted to admit it. We brought it up very subtly. We asked, has anyone played games like these before? And he decided to lie and say he was voted out first in the one he did. So that to me was a big threat to me because I knew I could never trust him. So I had to ensure that I got him out right away, and that would build some trust with the two other ladies that I was working with on my tribe.
And for me, Mike, I think, I don't know how much you guys have had a chance to really talk as a jury, but I think you might be surprised by how much I knew about what was happening in this game. And despite not having influence over the first half of the game, because I never went to tribal council, I was still playing so hard and strategizing so hard with the people that I worked with. One thing that you probably don't know is the conversation that I had with Kira after we all went idol hunting. Kira and I went back out, and I had mentioned to her that Dirt and you were looking for a third, and I was wondering if Kira would be the fourth so that we could maybe be an even pairing, because I thought you two were closer to each other than you would be to me. And in the moment, Kira said a lot of things, but one of them was that she didn't think it was best for her game to bring Dirt to the end, and I thought it was best for my game to bring Dirt to the end. And I also, that was a big reason why going into the vote for Kira that I wanted to do what I wanted to do.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. And now, before we get to the final vote, we're going to hear one last time from our final two. You're both going to have up to 5 minutes for your final speech. This is your last chance to address the jury before they vote to decide the winner of Season 2 of Ottawa Survivor. Who's going first? All right, Dirt, you're going first.
I came into this game as a returnee. I came into this game with friends outside of the game. I knew that I was definitely not going to be playing with these friends because obviously production would have known and they would have made it harder for me. So I got put on a tribe with one person that I knew I didn't want to work with, and I got him out right away. I then had to navigate, how am I going to move forward in a swap? How am I going to build these relationships? And the hardest part is I had too many relationships. And I didn't know if the emotions were gonna take toll on me, and they did. But Megan only had to go to tribal when she was vulnerable at 7. I was at every single tribal except one. When we swapped, I could have had the luck of the draw with people I knew. I could have had the shit end of the stick, if you want to call it that, and been with more new players. So I would be vulnerable. Yes, you can say that that was a luck of the swap and I was insulated, but it wasn't. Because if we lost, I knew that I was going to have to make an emotional decision and vote people out that I knew. And I had to do that. And I started with Justin. Justin was the first to go for me because in season 1, we got voted out because of how close we were. Then it came down to Janet and Meggers, and I had to make a decision there. And I had been working with Janet pretty much this whole game, so I was not going to vote her out. And unfortunately, I had to vote Meggers out. And again, another connection that it hurt. Going into merge, I almost felt like I did have to win that first immunity. You guys may not feel like I did, but for me, I did. Because if I don't, I'm the only returnee left. There's a very good chance that you guys might just take that opportunity and vote me out. Everyone here is playing to win. Everyone. And so am I. And moving past that, Janet, that was the hardest vote out for me, voting you out. But I had to make sure that I had someone good at puzzles and someone good at mental still in the game, because I felt that physical I could take on Cam, hopefully. So I had to have all the bases covered for whatever the final challenge was, and just hope that Cam didn't win. And that was a really hard decision for me. In closing, everyone knows I love this game. Everyone knows that I love to play it. I know that it may have been messy. I know that there was a lot of emotions and tears brought into this game. But I'm most certainly not going to have any regrets. And I'm most certainly not going to hold it against any of you if I do not have your vote today. I'm just looking forward to, you know, being friends with you, going to Chuck's after this game. We don't own the rights to Chuck's. And honestly, it's been a blast, and I love you all.
Thank you, Dirt. Megan?
Thanks. I did not expect this game to go as it did. I thought I was coming in here with people with the potential of having people know everything about my relationship with Dirt prior to this. And even once it started, I believed that people knew about us and that we're strategically playing to pretend that they didn't know. And so when I found out that that wasn't the case, I just opened up and played the game that I played in the second half of this game. Dirt is entirely right that I didn't have to go to tribal council early in this game. I didn't have to vote anyone out. But I did that by playing the game in the way that it was set up to be played, right? Like, I could have thrown immunity challenges to let some people vote it out. I think I was safe in the early tribe. Justin, I felt, was on our side. He's told other people that. Kira, we were not going to vote for each other. I'll explain more about why I did that in a second. But I felt like I was in a position of relative safety socially throughout the game, whether or not I went to tribal council. And it's true that that first half of the game was much easier for me, but I think I had a lot of sway in how the outcomes of the tribals that I was participating in, like how what the outcomes were. So I determined the outcome of the first vote, Kira, because I didn't think I could beat you. After that conversation last night, I was like, damn, this girl is good. And I don't know if I didn't know if I could sway Tara and Cameron to vote you out. And I also knew that I wanted to continue the game with Dirt, so the thing that was best for me was to make sure that you didn't flip things around on me, because you had so much information about me, and I was really worried that you would go around and use it against me, especially sitting here. If we were to sit beside each other, I don't think I had a shot at beating you, and I don't think anybody even here did, because you are incredible at this game, and that's your personality, and so I had to take the shot when the opportunity came up. And other than that, like, I did win 2 individual immunities to ensure my own safety in this game, but there were times in between that I wasn't safe, and I had to rely on my social strategy. There was a point where I could have been voted out, 2 points where I could have been voted out in the latter half of this game, and I wasn't, because I had connections and because I wasn't the biggest perceived threat in this game. When I thought I was coming into a game as someone who would have to defend themselves against being a huge perceived threat, I thought people would come into this game knowing that I'm a previous winner, and that I played again, and that I was a second place runner-up, and that I would have to navigate this game as someone who is a huge target. And once I let that all out, I still wasn't voted out. And so I have Dirt beside me as a massive threat, but in reality, statistically, I have beat him in terms of the competition. I know that Dirt has lots of connections in here, but I do feel that I've made genuine connections with you guys as well, and I hope that I continue to evolve those relationships beyond this game. And strategically, I was able to sell on, like, I thought on the Janet vote that you might have been considering voting me, both of you, Mike and Dirt, and I thought that if I told you that I think I have a better chance of beating Cameron at some things, that you might keep me around. And I don't know if that, like, really is the reason why, or if, like, in your heart, you know, you voted for me for other reasons, but I played a game where I was able to not be safe. I wasn't safe in the hardest part of this game, and I still influenced the outcomes of the tribals that I played. I didn't just find a way to get here. I found a way to get here while, you know, participating in and influencing what happened to you guys who are sitting over there.
All right. Well, now the power is handed off to the jury. The jury is going to go, and they're each going to cast a vote, and this is a vote where you want to see your name, because the jury is going to be voting for who will be sole survivor of Survivor Ottawa Season 2.
Let's get to it. All right, jury, we're going to take you back to the voting booth. Kira, you're up first.
My vote is for you, Meg. Congratulations on making it to the final 2. I am so impressed by the game that you played. You outsmarted me, you outstrategized me, and I was completely bamboozled when you got me out and you flipped on me. I didn't see it coming, but I think that move and everything that you did like after that, excellent gameplay. Like, I left that incredible. Like, I was just like, that girl, incredible. I am so honored to have played this game with you. I am so happy you're my friend and we get to continue this outside, and I just love you and you deserve this.
You are an incredible player. Congratulations.
So this is the part where I can say I've learned a lot, but I knew how I was playing this game, and I've learned a shit ton about games. That was well played. Well played. Love you both.
Congrats to you both. I think you both deserve to be here. Both played awesome games. You know, I got to vote for the person who I think overall kind of exemplified, you know, all 3 phases of the game, and had some difficult portions as well. So my vote's for Dirt today.
I think this player played a phenomenal game. I think you played an amazing game, socially, mentally, and physically, and I am honored to give you my vote.
Okay, we're gonna go tally the votes.
Well, this is the moment we've all been waiting for, and it's only fitting that the champ of Ottawa Survivor Season 2 is crowned by the champ of Ottawa Survivor Season 1. So Jen, take it away.
All right, guys, good luck. The first vote, we have Dirt. The second vote goes to Megan. The third vote, we have Megan with a wizard. So it's 2 votes Megan, 1 vote Dirt. The third vote, and the winner of Season 2 Ottawa Survivor is Megan. Congratulations! You're the sole survivor and the winner of $1,000. Well done. Well done. The last vote was also Megan. Yeah, I didn't want to not say it because people are like.
Congratulations, Megan. Congratulations, everybody. This was a fun season. I'm so excited that I got to share this with you. I'm so excited that I got to host this with you.
It was amazing. You guys are so fun. It was a great experience doing it on the other side too. I hope you guys had a blast. I hope you come out of this with new experiences, new things that you found out about yourself, and wanting to do it again maybe.
And big shout out to Domain Labrador, this amazing place that hosted us. We will see you summer 2027 for season 3.